Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League Strat-O-matic Super Advanced. And this time we are in Chicago. I agree, Dav, it should be, because he's back. He's off the disabled list. Harold Baines is back and on the roster and in the starting lineup. To make room for him, the White Sox either injured Steve Lyons out to the injured list or demoted him. I'm not sure which is which. And also, my favorite guy, Floyd Rayford, is off the roster. And the Orioles have added Lee Lacy to their roster to take his place. They've also added another catcher, Dave Van Gorder. So they added two. They were shorter players, so they added two and subtracted one. So that's where they're at right now. Hello, Colin. Hello, Kenyon. So no Floyd Rayford, but we do get Harold Baines. Jose DeLeon on the mound for the Sox. Mike Boddicker on the mound for the Orioles. Orioles coming to the game 12-15. The White Sox 12-12. So Jose DeLeon will be finishing up the warm-up tosses. His complete numbers for Jose DeLeon: he is 2-3, but his ERA is 5.93. 30 innings pitched, 26 hits, 20 walks, and 30 strikeouts. So the 20 walks in 30 innings is probably what most of his undoing is. This is game 189 of the season. Another game on May the 8th. Ballpark effects for Comiskey: singles are 1-9 for both left and right. Home runs 1-4, both left and right. Both pitchers can be run on. DeLeon is a +4, and Boddicker is a +3, and both catchers are 0. So they have no effect. Just straight out pitchers: +4 for DeLeon, +3 for Boddicker. Got our dice, hello Ernest. Got our dice, which I'm thinking are the closest I can get to Chicago White Sox dice. So we will go with that. And leading off for the Orioles will be Alan Wiggins. He's hitting .207, a homer and 7 driven in. He hit .232 real world, so he's not too far off his pace. That's a 4-6, switch your bang left, and that is a walk. Not what you want to do with Alan Wiggins. He is a speedster, and he will be looking to run. Alan Wiggins on the season has stolen 8 bases, so he's going for steal number 9 right here. He needs a 4 through 6 or a 12, 4, 5, 6, or a 12 to get the lead. 4, 5, 6, or 12. That's a 12. He gets the lead. It's right there. So he's an 18, being held as a 16, but then the +4 makes it a 20. So 19 is as high as you can have. So 1 to 19, he's in there. Fisk has a T rating of 5, so they'll still take a chance and throw down there. And he's going to be safely. So stolen base for Wiggins. That is stolen base number 9 on the season for Alan Wiggins. And I'm assuming you caught this, Robert, when you came in, that Harold Baines is back on the roster. He is active, and he is hitting third and playing the DH in this game. So Harold Baines is here, but my favorite, Floyd Rayford, is not on the roster anymore. All right, so here is Lee Lacy. He just came up to replace Rayford, so this is his first at bat. So obviously, actually, he was there early, and I guess he was injured, but he has had 17 at bats on the season. That was way early in April. 1 homer, 3 runs driven in, hitting .294. Wiggins will be held at second base. 2-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to third. It's an A, so that means that Wiggins is going to have to hold right where he is. And just a programming note, there will be no game tomorrow night, as I will be celebrating my retirement. But there will be 2 games on Saturday. Saturday morning, or Saturday around noonish, will be the season ticket NBC game of the week. And then Saturday night will be on Inside Pitch. It'll be the Reds and the Dodgers from Riverfront Stadium, or the stadium in front of the river. Hello, Brian B. All right, so DeLeon. Nothing on the havoc. Cal Ripken, the batter. Ripken is hitting .255, 4 homers, 15 driven in. He hit .252 real world, so he's kind of right on pace. That's a 2-7, and that's a split chance. 1 to 14 is a single. That is a 14. It's only 1 star. So Wiggins does have to stop at third base, but runners are at the corners with only one out. Thank you all. I will probably get a part-time job in the fall, but my full-time work is pretty much done. I'll probably get a part-time job in the fall, but in summertime, I'm going to work on this house and work on this yard that are long overdue. And just, other than that, just kind of relax and spend time with Tabby and roll some dice and all that stuff. But then probably around Thanksgiving or so, when seasonal help is needed in certain places, I may get a part-time job doing that just to give me something to do and get me back out there. But for right now, tomorrow is my last day. And I've already been riding with the driver that's replacing me, showing him out, everything we're doing. So I think he's up to speed now and he's ready to go. So I think he's ready to go solo on Monday. So I'm pretty sure he's good to go. All right. It's not rocket science. So, all right. Infield at double play depth. Here's Eddie Murray. Murray on the replay hitting 358, 7 home runs, 21 driven in. He has really been hitting above his skis. 6'8", switch hitter batting left is a walk. It's going to load the bases. So DeLeon in some rough trouble here in the first. And he's got to deal with Fred Lynn. Lynn is only hitting 202, 7 homers, 17 driven in. He hit 253 real world. So he's kind of off the pace a little bit. That's a 1. The wild pitch rating on DeLeon is a 6. If we get a 1 to 6, he will wild pitch in the first run of the game. We do not. It is blocked by Fisk. So Lynn steps up. Infield still looking for that double play. It's a 1-6, and that's a 1 to 5 single. Anything else he lines out, that's a 9. So he lines it to second. Manrique fields it. Everybody holds. And now it's going to be all up to Ray Knight in a clutch situation. Ray Knight on the replay is hitting 284, 4 homers, 11 driven in. He hit 256 real world. 2, that's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're checking pass balls on Fisk. He's a pass ball rating of 3. No pass ball. Fisk blocks it. So it's up to Ray Knight in the clutch against right-handers. He loses the hit on 2-8. Everything else and on 112. Everything else he's neutral. That's a 3-7, and he strikes out. Boy, if the base is loaded, he struck him out. Orioles leave him loaded. That might come back to bite him. All that trouble, and DeLeon gets out of it with no damage. Yes, Chuck, I intentionally picked D-Day. It was on purpose. It was not an accident. I originally was gonna retire on Halloween, but then the missus said, why do that? Why not go ahead and do it now and enjoy the summertime instead of waiting until Halloween and having it cold and nasty and everything else? So why not enjoy the summertime, spring and summertime? So I said, you know what? That's a good idea. All right, Mike Boddicker on the mound for the Orioles. Boddicker 3-1, a 5.70 earned run average, 43 innings pitched, 54 hits, 9 walks, 36 strikeouts. Darrell, please come to Boston, is up at the plate, hitting 320, 4 homers, 12 driven in. He hit 258 real world. Boddicker 6'3" to the lefty. He's a ground ball pitcher X. Boddicker's an E13. He's a 1 with an E13, so we know he's going to get to it with a 1. It's just the E13 to worry about. And that is a 14. So E13 for a pitcher and a 14. Let's see what that brings about. E13. There's a 13, but no 14, so he's good. Boddicker will make the play and throw Boston out of there. 1 away. Flips the order over to Gary Reedus, not to temptation. Reedus hitting 327, way above his skis. He only hit 236 real world. 3 homers, 12 driven in. But it's a long way to go. 2-5, and that is a ground ball to short. 2 down. And that will send it to the man of the hour, Harold Baines, Mr. Thumbnail. Harold Baines. Baines is hitting 500. He's 2 for 4. He managed to get in 4 at-bats before he got hurt. He's 2 for 4. No homers or runs batted in. It does have a double. Mr. Baines. 111, and that's a clutch hit reversal to be out to be a hit, but nobody's on base, so it doesn't help him any. It's just a ground ball to third. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Boddicker. At the end of one, it's no score from Comiskey. Terry Kennedy will lead off for the Orioles as they regroup from leaving the bases loaded last time. See what they can do this time. Kennedy on the replay hitting .255, 9 homers, 22 runs batted in. He hit .250 real world, so he's right on pace. 3-6, and that's a single. Base hit for Kennedy. Of course, he will not be held. And that'll bring up Larry Sheets. Sheets, the left fielder for this game, is hitting .220 in just 50 at-bats. He had 469 at-bats, so 50 is a small sample size. .220, 3 homers, 8 driven in. Nothing on the Havoc. That's a 3-7 for Sheets, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 2. So 2 down for Jim Dwyer, the designated hitter. Dwyer hitting .410 in just 39 at-bats. He hit .274 real world, but he's only had 39 at-bats, so take that with a grain of salt. But he's up there against DeLeon. It's a 4-11, and that's a ground ball. First base X, Greg Walker, a 3-E10, possible double play. 3-19 definitely is a possible double play. E10, got to avoid the E10. That is a 9. Should be okay, I'm thinking. First base E10, and there is no 9, so it will be a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. Nicely turned by Walker and Guillen. So we go to the bottom of the second. No score. And Pudge Fisk will lead off for the White Sox against Boddicker. And we're hoping to avoid circles in the sand tonight if Xfinity will hold out. Pudge Fisk on the replay is hitting .278, 2 homers, 9 driven in. 4-12 against Boddicker as a fly to center. Hauled in by Lynn, 1 away. Greg Walker, who turned that nice double play, is up. Walker hitting .213, 3 homers, 12 driven in. 5-9, fly to center again. Fred Lynn is right there one more time. 2 up and 2 down, and that brings us to Ivan Calderon, right fielder. Calderon, 318 on the replay, hit .293 real world, 5 homers, 14 driven in. That's a 3-6, and he's going to draw the base on balls. That'll keep the inning going. Actually, first base runner for the White Sox. Calderon will be held because he does have the asterisk and +3 for Boddicker, so they're going to have to hold him on. Calderon's not going to try to steal, I don't believe, or he might with that +3 there. 15, 30, it'd be a 16 if he can get the lead, so they're going to try it 2 through 5. If he gets the lead, it's a 1 in 16 chance. He does not get the lead, so he will hold. Would have been a 1 to 16 chance, but couldn't get the lead. So here's Hewlett, 198 hitter in the replay, 2 homers, 7 driven in, hit .217 real world. Hewlett, that's a 4-10, and that's a strikeout for Boddicker. First strikeout of the game for Boddicker, and that will end the inning. 2 innings are in the books, and we got no score from Comiskey. DeLeon back out, and he will be facing the top of the order, Alan Wiggins. Wiggins walked and stole second his first time up. Wiggins now has 9 stolen bases on the season replay. He had 20 steals in real world. It's a 1-8, and he will strike out. Did that a lot, too. That is strikeout number 3 for DeLeon. And that will send it to Lee Lacy. 1-8, and that's a base on balls. That is the third walk, so he's had 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. He's been all over the place. Lacey will not be held. Here's Cal Ripken. Ripken got a base hit his first time up. 1-9, and he's going to get a base hit again. Single to left field, and with the ball going to left, they will hold Lacey at second base. So first and second with only 1 out, and here comes Eddie Murray. Don't want to run yourself out of an inning, make that second out at third base when you got Eddie Murray coming up. So Murray walked his first chance. 2-11, and he's going to pop it up to first base. How do you like that? Infield fly rule. Everybody has to hold. You can advance at your own risk, but I wouldn't advise it. So that's 2 down, and here comes Fred Lynn. One 6, and that's a 1-5 single, but that's a 16, so he lines the second just like he did the first inning. And the Orioles leave 2 more on base, and they are going to probably regret all these left on bases. So we go to the bottom of the third, still no score. They are making DeLeon work, I will say that, but have nothing to show for it. Here is Boddicker. He'll be facing Ozzie Guillen, Fred Manrique, and Darryl Boston. Guillen hit in 241, homer and 7 driven in. He had 279 real world. 2-8, and that is a base hit. One's a double, anything else is a single. And that's the first base hit of the game for the White Sox. There goes the no-hitter. So Guillen, a 6 or a 7 will get him the lead. He's definitely looking to steal. That's a 7. He will get the lead. He's an 18, being held as a 16, but the +3 is a 19. And that's a 3. So it's possible throwing error on Kennedy. He's a T2. So no throwing error, but it will be a stolen base for Guillen. He will steal second base, get himself into scoring position with nobody out. And Fred Manrique, is your batter, second baseman. Manrique hitting 258, which is exactly what he hit in real world. No homers, 5 driven in, but he's only had 31 at-bats in real world. He had 298. All right, so Boddicker to Manrique. 3-5, and that is a 1-14 home run, and that's a 19, so he will hit a fly ball to left field that will just be a loud out. So Boddicker catches a break. That 19 on the D20 saved his bacon. 3-5, 1-14 would have been a home run. Although it's kind of weird, he's got a home run on his card here, but he's got weak power, so I don't understand it. How could he get the home run if he's got weak power? But I guess the weak power is only for the home runs on the pitcher card, not for his own card. So I guess he has to have it on his own card so he can get home runs because he only hit 4 real world. So here's Darryl Boston. Boston grounded back to Boddicker his first chance. 2-5, and that's a ground ball to third. And that will freeze the runner, Guillen, at second. 2 down. It's going to be all up to Gary Reedus in the clutch. Reedus in the clutch. Loses a hit on 3-10 and on 2-2. Everything else he's neutral. Boddicker looking to get that third out. 2-7, and he will. It's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Boddicker. And 3 innings are in the books, and nobody's crossed the plate yet, although there have been threats. We go to the fourth, no score. Boddicker and DeLeon both have 7s for fatigue, so they can go quite a distance if they're effective. No questions asked. Ray Knight, your leadoff hitter. Knight struck out with the bases loaded back in the first. 1-7, he will strike out again with the bases empty. So it doesn't matter what the bases situation is, he struck out twice. And somewhere Nancy's laughing. Here's Terry Kennedy. 1-8, and that's another strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for DeLeon. And that'll flip it over to Larry Sheets. Sheets also a strikeout victim. 2-5. but not this time. He's going to ground it to first. Easy play for Walker, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jose DeLeon. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, no score. So somebody's got to break through here, you would think, at some point. Boddicker back out, and he'll be facing Mr. Thumbnail himself, Harold Baines. Baines grounded to third his first trip. 1-9, and he will ground to first. Eddie Murray will take it to the bag himself. A very easy play. And I'll bring up Pudge Fisk. Hello, alternate. Good to see you. Fisk flew to center his first chance. That's a 2-7, and he's going to strike out. Strikeout number 3 for Boddicker. For Greg Walker, Walker flew to center also his first chance. That's a 4-10, and that's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Lynn. He's a 3-3. So average range and pretty good error. 3 and a 5, though, could be trouble. He may not get to that. It's probably going to drop. 3 and a 5 is a single. He's an E3, so the only errors are 3, 18, and 16. No other errors. 3, 18, and 16. So no error there, but it will drop in for a 2-out single for Greg Walker. As Lynn just wasn't quite able to get there. Maybe those old bones just don't move like they used to. So Walker will not be held. Hello, DJ from the left coast. Good to see you. Here's Calderon. .510, and that is a ballpark single check. First time going to the ballpark. 1-9. That is a 9. It'll be a base hit. Only 1 star, though. And runners are at first and second. For Tim Hewlett-Packard, he struck out his first chance. That's a 2. It's for balk or pass ball. We're looking at a balk rating on Boddicker, but it's a 0, so no balk. Go straight to Hewlett. 4-12, and that's a fly to center. Lynn will get to it this time, and that's going to do it for the Sox. At the end of 4, no score from Comiskey. And DeLeon back out. Start the 5th. He'll be facing Jim Dwyer, the number 9 hitter, designated hitter. He hit into a double play his first time up. 3-9, and he's going to draw a base on balls. Yet another walk for Mr. DeLeon, and that is walk number 4 to go with his 5 strikeouts. Dwyer will not be held. And here's Wiggins. Wiggins is 0 for 1. 5-10, switch hitter batting left. 5-10, it's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Boston. He's a 3-4. 3-4. 3-2, it's going to get down for probably extra bases. 3-2 is a double 2 stars. So double 2 stars. Dwyer is going to make it to third. Now we have to check for an error. He is an E4. Is Boston. So 4 and 16 are the only error rating. Only error chances. 4 and 16. And there's not going to be an error, but the double puts runners at second and third with nobody out, and the Orioles have their first big scoring chance, and it's Lee Lacy. Sox going to play the infield back. Well, you know what? They're going to be aggressive. They're going to play the infield in. They'll take their chances with the pluses. They're going to play the infield in. 3-7, and that's a strikeout. That's a good start. Now the infield is definitely going to come in. That's a 6th strikeout for Mr. DeLeon. Much needed strikeout. Now with 1 out, the infield is definitely in for Cal Ripken. If they can get Ripken, they'll probably walk Murray and pitch to Lynn. Not let Murray beat him. But Ripken's up with the infield in. 4-6, and that's a strikeout again. Strikeout number 7 for DeLeon. And 4 fingers have come up immediately. They will walk Eddie Murray. They are not messing around with Eddie Murray whatsoever. They will give him the free pass and take their chances with Fred Lynn. The 5th walk issued by DeLeon. But Lynn has lined to second twice and is nowhere near the hitter that Eddie Murray is. So they will take their chances. It does set up where a walk could force in a run, but they'll take their chances. They like the odds. Lynn has lined out to second twice. DeLeon pitching to Lynn in the clutch. And in the clutch, Lynn gets one hit on a 2-2. That's it. Everything else is neutral. Whoa, we got a hop and dice. We're going to re-roll that. 2-7, and he struck him out. So there you go. Didn't take a brain surgeon to walk Eddie Murray on that one. Strikeout number 8. Even that other channel would have walked Eddie Murray, I think. So strikeout number 8, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. And we have no score. So Gian is up. Singled and stole a base his first chance. 6-9, left-handed, pops it up to Ripken. And that's one away. That'll bring up Fred Manrique. Oh, I don't need it. Nobody's on base. He flew to left his first chance. 1-8 from Enrique, struck him out, and that's strikeout number 4 for Boddicker. Who would have thought a pitching duel would break out here, but it has. And here's Boston. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. 3-8, and that's a single. It's anti-clutch, but we're not in a clutch situation, so Boston's single is good. 4th hit for each team now. Each team has 4 hits. Boston, to get the lead, needs a 2 through 7 or an 11. And he got the 6, so he gets the lead. 15 being held as a 13, plus the 3 is a 16. 1 to 16, he steals it. And he does. Stolen base for Boston. And he gets in the scoring position with 2 outs for Gary Reedus. Now a clutch situation. In the clutch, he loses a hit on 3-10 and 2-2. Reedus away the pitch from Boddicker, 2-3, and that's a fly to center, and that will end the inning as Fred Lynn puts it away. And at the end of 5, we have no score here in Comiskey. And the question is, will anybody break through? Neither team seems to want to come through, especially in the clutch. So top of the 6th, it'll be the bottom of the order for the Orioles. It'll be Knight, Kennedy, and Sheets. 6, 7, 8 hitters for the O's. Knight is struck out twice. 3-7, he will strike out again. Got the hat trick. And since that's the 9th strikeout of the game for DeLeon, Nancy says that was a nice 9-iron. All right, here's Terry Kennedy. 3-10, and that's a walk. So yet another walk. That's a 6th walk issued by DeLeon. He's got 6 walks and 9 strikeouts. Very wild and zany game. Kennedy not being held, obviously, does not run well at all. Here's Sheets. He needs something. He's got too good of a card to be this bad of a hitter in the replay. 4-11, and it's ground ball first base X. We are looking at Walker, 3-10. Last time he had a ground ball in this situation, he turned the double play, and that was back in the 2nd inning. 3 and an 11. Probably won't be a double play. Probably a fielder's choice. 3 and an 11. Yeah, G2. So the play is going to go to 2nd for the force, but we'll check the error. He's an E10. And he's got to avoid 11, 15, 3, and 18. 11, 15, 3, and 18. And it's an 11. He makes the error, so it won't be a fielder's choice. It won't be anything. An E10 with an 11, it's right there. So it's going to be a 1-base error. 1-base error on Walker. And instead of a potential double play or at least a force, we got 1st and 2nd with only 1 out. And maybe this is the time that the Orioles break through. DeLeon not too happy about that. Here's Dwyer. Grounded into a double play and walked. 6-6, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired. That's the 10th strikeout for DeLeon. He seems to get strikeouts when he needs them. 10th strikeout in just 6 innings. Also to go along with his 6 walks. Those pitch counts got to be getting up there. Here's Alan Wiggins. 6-6 switcher batting left, and that's another strikeout. Strikeout number 11 for DeLeon. And he is pouring it on when he has to. He's reaching back for something extra. And the Orioles will leave him runners on base, and the error by the first baseman Walker is null and void. So we go to the bottom of the sixth, still no score. And due up, you know who, Harold Baines. Wouldn't be something if he homered for the only run of the game. That would be something. 4-7, but he will ground it to second. Wiggins is a 4E15. 4E15. 4 and a 5, that's going to almost guaranteed be a base hit. 4 and a 5 is a base hit. He's an E17. Got to avoid 6-15, 3 and 18. 6-15, 3 and 18. And he does, but it's going to be a base hit for Harold Baines, as Wiggins was unable to get there. Baines, of course, not being held. And here comes Pudge Fisk. Pudge Fisk. One chance of a wild pitch. Boddicker's wild pitch rating is a 9. And he just uncorked a wild pitch that will move Baines into scoring position. Okay, I'm hoping we're back now. Think we are. Let me check my hand. Yep, got my hand here. Okay, we're back. All right. The last thing that happened was a wild pitch on Boddicker. Hopefully you all saw that, because that's the last thing I did. I didn't do anything after the wild pitch. Baines singled, and then we had a wild pitch on Boddicker, and that's the last thing I've done. So now we got Carlton Fisk up with nobody out and Baines at second base. That's where we left off. Okay. So Fisk 0 for 2. 3-6, and that is a ground ball third base A. So with the A, that's going to freeze the runner at second base. So Baines will hold. And here's Greg Walker. That's a 3-10 for Walker, and that's a ground ball pitcher A. So that's going to, again, freeze the runner at second. 2 down, and it's up to a clutch situation for Calderon. And in the clutch, he loses all kinds of hits on 1-8, 1-10, 1-11. He loses 3 hits there in the clutch. So he is definitely anti-clutch in that column 1. But he found column 3, 3-5, and he's going to draw a base on balls. That's going to keep the inning going. Runners at first and second with 2 outs now for Tim Hewlett. Hewlett in the clutch. Gains a hit on 3-2. Everything else, he's neutral. 5-8 for Boddicker is a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So strikeout number 5 for Boddicker, and we remain scoreless. We do remain scoreless. We go to the 7th. Nobody has graced the scoreboard yet. This is the fatigue inning for both pitchers coming up right now. So I have to be cognizant of that. And Lee Lacy will be the leadoff man for the O's. 11 strikeouts in the game for DeLeon so far. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Guillen, 2E21. 2-10, he'll get to it. The E21 is in question. E21 and an 8. Shortstop E21. There's no 8, so it's a good play for Ozzie Guillen. And there's 1 away. 1 down, and that's going to send up Cal Ripken. 2 for 3. 6-8, and he's going to draw a base on balls. That is walk number 7. So it's a 7-11 game for DeLeon. He's walked 7, struck out 11. Ripken not being held. Here's Eddie Murray. Somebody's going to break something up. You would think it would be Eddie. 3-4. Ballpark single check, 1-9. That's a 7. It'll be a base hit. And now DeLeon 1 hit or walk away from fatigue. So the Sox bullpen is loosening. And they do have Bob James loosening in their bullpen just in case DeLeon should fatigue. Lynn, your batter, first and second, 1 out. Ripken not being held at second. DeLeon 2-8, and that's a ballpark blast for Freddie Lynn, but it's only a 1-4, and that's a 9. So it's just going to be a deep fly to right for out number 2. And DeLeon caught a break there. That was almost out of here. So it's up to Ray Knight. He has got the hat trick, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Now we are in the 7th inning, and we could pinch hit. But Nancy Lopez is having too much fun watching this, so we're going to let Ray Knight hit. See if we can go for the golden sombrero. 2-9. Now he's going to ground to short instead, and that'll end the inning. But nothing doing for the O's. When's the last time we got to the 7th inning stretch with no score? That's very interesting. DeLeon's probably out of gas with all those walks and strikeouts. So I think to be realistic, we're going to pull him, and Bob James will be coming on to pitch. So DeLeon can win it. He cannot lose it. He has given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. I've got him for, no runs. He walked 7, struck out 11. Very strange outing there. Now, when I shut down the computer and had to reboot, I also lost the game in Strat-O-matic, so I got to redo all that from scratch once this game is over. So I'm not able to use the computer to tally up my pitching results, so I have to do it manually. What I can do, however, is go to the computer and get the stats of the players that come into the game, the relief pitchers and so forth. So I'll bring that up so that we have it just in case we get relief pitchers appearing in the game. But right now, we are at the 7th inning stretch. And you know what that means? That means we are going to take me out to the ball game. And after all of this pitching and stuff, we might need a break here. So stretch and enjoy. Take me out to the ball game. All right, 7th inning stretch is in the books. And now we are ready to get going with this bottom of the 7th. And leading things off will be Ozzie Guillen. This is the fatigue inning for Boddicker, so we'll keep an eye on that. Guillen is 1 for 2 with a stolen base. That's a 6'10 left-handed. That's a catcher X. We're going to Kennedy. He's a 4E4. 4 and a 2. That could be interesting. That might even be a squib hit. 4 and a 2. W/G. No, it looks like it'll be a ground out, perhaps. E4. The only errors are 16, 17, and 18. The only chances of that, 16, 17, and 18. We don't have that. So W/G. With runs on bases, no runs on bases, squib in front of the plate, and the catcher throws him out. So 2 to 3 ground out, 1 away for Fred Manrique. Now, do we pinch hit for Manrique? It's a 258 hitter. Let's look at the bench for the Sox. They have 5 players. They have Jerry Royster, Donnie Hill, Jerry Hairston, Ron Karkovice, and Ron Hassey. Those are the available players, pinch hitters. Donnie Hill, switch hitter. Jerry Hairston, switch hitter. But Hairston hits worse than Manrique. So does Hill. So pretty much Manrique is better than what's on the bench, so we'll stick with Manrique. Even though he's 0 for 2. Still better than what they got on the bench. 6-8, and that's a strikeout for Boddicker. Strikeout number 6. And that flips the order over to Daryl Boston. It's a 1-7, and that's a 1-9 home run for Daryl Boston. That's an 8. There you go. We finally get a breakthrough. 1-7 right here. 1-9 is a home run. That's an 8. Daryl, please come to Boston. And the Sox fan says, please hit a home run, and he did. So Daryl Boston with your home run. Let me get the numbers for Boston. See how many home runs that is for him. For Daryl Boston, that is home run number 5, an RBI number 13. So the White Sox take a 1-0 lead on the home run from Daryl Boston. He had 10 home runs all year. So decent power, but he's not the first guy you would think of on the team that would hit a home run, but he did it. And it's 1-0, and that means that Jose DeLeon is now the pitcher record for the win if the bullpen can hold it. Here's Reedus, 2-2, and that's a single for Gary Reedus. So now Boddicker 1 out, or 1 batter away, 1 walker hit away from fatigue. And Harold Baines is your batter. Reedus, though, is a chance to get the lead. 2 through 6 to get that lead. 2 through 6 is what he needs. And he gets the 6, so he'll get the lead. He'll go 19, being held as a 17, plus 3 is a 20. But again, 20 is high as you can go, so 19 is the number. And he's in there with stolen base for Gary Reedus. So now he's aboard at second base. He will be held at second because he runs so well. And Harold Baines is your batter. Boddicker hanging on. 4-5 against the left-hander. He lines it to Ray Knight at third to end the inning. But the White Sox break through on the Daryl Boston home run. And at the end of 7, it is Chicago 1 and the Orioles 0. Boddicker hanging on. He may come back for the 8th. We'll have to wait and see. But Bob James will be coming on to pitch for the White Sox. And we'll get the number on James. James on the replay is 1-1 with 2 saves, but an ERA of 9. 11 innings pitched, 17 hits, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So definitely a little bit of a high ERA there. It'll be Kennedy, Sheets, and Dwyer for the O's. Kennedy, Sheets, and Dwyer against James. 1-8 for Kennedy. That's a strikeout. That's the 12th strikeout by the Orioles. Oops, wrong spot up. Should have put it up here, didn't I? Good thing we have correction tape. Don't want to give Fisk a strikeout prematurely. So Kennedy strikes out. Brings up Larry Sheets. 4-11. Ground ball first base X. We're looking at Walker. He's a 3-E10. 3-11. He'll get to it. E10 is the question. E10 and the 7 should be good all day long, you would think. E10. There's no 7, so it will be a good play. It's going to go 3-1 on the ground out as he has to flip to James covering. So 2 down for Jim Dwyer. And he's got the pop to tie the game for sure. 4-8, but he's going to fly to center instead. Boston will field it, and that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the O's. Bob James will try to finish the game out in the 9th and get the save. Boddicker is going to come back out for the 8th and pitch. And he'll be facing Fisk, Walker, and Calderon. In the Oriole bullpen, we have right-hander Tony Arnold loosening in their bullpen just in case Boddicker hits fatigue. Right now, they're going to let Boddicker go. He only made one mistake pitch, and that was to Boston. So here's the pitch to Fisk. It's a 6-9, and that's a fly to center. Freddie Lynn is there, one down. And that will send it up to Greg Walker. 5-8 left-handed, struck him out. He has not hit fatigue yet, so the strikeout is good. 7th strikeout for Boddicker. Is he looking to possibly go 8 innings and maybe pitch a complete game if the game doesn't go to the 9th? Here's Calderon. 6-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X to Cal Ripken. Ripken is a 2E20. 2 and 8, he'll get to it. E20 is the question. E20 and by 13 is dangerous. There are a lot of 13 errors on this thing. E20, but no 13 here. 13s are loaded down here, but not right here. 15, 16, 17, not 13. So Ripken makes the play. Boddicker is going to go 8 innings. And if the game doesn't go to the bottom of the 9th, that's technically a complete game for Boddicker. But coming out for the 9th, it'll be Bob James to try to close the deal. Wiggins will be pinch hit for, I do believe. Let's look at the Orioles roster on the bench, see what they have available. Not really anybody from the left side. Ken Gerhardt, Rick Burleson, and Rene Gonzalez, and then Dave Van Gorder, Nelson Simmons, and John Shelby. So not really a whole lot there. Wiggins hit 232. Gerhardt 243, not much better. He's a righty as well. So they might let Wiggins go ahead and hit, actually. What do you do? No, actually, they're going to bring in Nelson Simmons to pinch hit. And if it goes to the bottom of the 9th, they will bring in Rene Gonzalez to play second base. So right now, it is Nelson Simmons to pinch hit for Wiggins. He's going to pinch hit here in the 9th. In real world, he hit 265. Let's see what he's doing on the replay. I think he was doing pretty well on the replay. Simmons is hitting 298 on the replay, 3 homers and 12 driven in. So Simmons will be facing Bob James. Bob James. 1-8 for Simmons, and he's going to get a base hit. Look at that. Pinch hit single. Of course, we're going to run for Simmons because he can't run at all. So there will be a pinch runner for Simmons. Let's look at the Oriole bench. And it might be Gonzalez. He might be the fastest one they have, or it could be Shelby. We'll take a look here at their bench and see who's got the best chance of stealing the base or making some things happen on the base paths. Well, Rene Gonzalez doesn't need no, but they don't have speed on the base. Well, the only guy that has speed is Gerhardt, so they will pinch run with Gerhardt. At least he has to be held. He's the only guy that has to be held. So Ken Gerhardt will pinch run in the 9th, and if it goes to the bottom of the 9th, again, Gonzalez would take over as the man on second base. So Gerhardt's going to try to get the lead. A 4 through 6, he gets the lead. Does not get the lead, so he will hold. And Lee Lacy is your batter. Lee Lacy. 5-10. That's a ballpark blast. 1-4, but that's a 10, so it's a fly ball to left field. And he had normal power, so it would have been a home run, but wasn't to be. Hello, Ollie. Good to see you. 1987 APA. Well, 87 is a great set, that's for sure. Or a great season. I enjoy it. That's why I'm doing this. I think it's an underrated season. Everybody focuses on 86, but I think 87 was just as good. All right, here's Cal Ripken. Of course, that's just a personal opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. 1, that's a possible wild pitch on Bob James. So let's look at Bob James and see what his wild pitch rating is. James's wild pitch rating is an 11. So possible wild pitch. No, it is blocked by Mr. Fisk. So what a play by Fisk to keep that ball from getting by him. Keeps the double play in order and keeps the runner out of scoring position. Here is Ripken. 1-6, and that is a ground ball to short. That's going to end the ball game. 6-4-3 double play. We'll take care of it. And White Sox defeat the Orioles by the score of 1-0 here on a Thursday night in Comiskey. Eddie Murray on deck, but never got the chance. Never got the chance. Bob James closed the deal. He goes 2 innings, and he gives up a hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. He gets the save. DeLeon gets the win to improve to 3-3. Boddicker the loss. He drops to 3-2. So 6 hits for the Orioles. There was 1 error in the game, and that error belonged to the first baseman, Walker. So let's see how many hits the White Sox got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. So there's your line score for Boddicker. He goes 8 innings, 7 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked. Let's see, how many did he walk? Boddicker 1, just 2 walks I have him for. And he struck out 7. And a tough loss. I mean, you get that kind of line, you should not be getting a loss, but he did. Left on base for the Orioles, that was their bugaboo. They left 3 on base in the first, 2 on base in the third. That's a total of 5. 1 here is 6, 1 here is 7, 1 here is 8. So left them loaded in the fifth, or make 8. 2 more here makes it 10. 2 more here makes it 12, and 1 here. Well, nobody there. So they left 12 on base. That was their downfall. The 12 left on base for the Orioles was their downfall. White Sox 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They left 8 on base. But the 12 left on base is what came back to bite the Orioles without question. No question about it. That's what did it. But the White Sox improved to 13-12. And as I look at the standings, White Sox 13-12. They are now just 3 games behind the Oakland A's and only 1 back in the loss column. The Orioles with the loss dropped to 12-16. So they are now 8 games behind the Brewers and Yankees and only 2 games ahead of the last place Red Sox. So the Orioles can't score any runs. The White Sox get the victory. Next game in Strat-O-matic will be Sunday. And according to my east to west schedule, it will be the second to last game of the day. It'll be the Seattle Mariners taking on the Milwaukee Brewers from Milwaukee. And it's a great pitching matchup. 2 good lefties, Mark Langston against Teddy Higuera. That will be Sunday, probably in the morning, but maybe in the evening. Not sure yet. It will be on Sunday. That will be Strat-O-matic Seattle at Milwaukee. And then the final game to be played on May 8th will take us to Texas, Toronto and Texas. That will be the final game probably on Monday or Tuesday. But for the next 2 games, you'll be seeing a lot of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tomorrow night will be nothing. Saturday morning or noonish will be the NBC game of the week. It'll be the 1978 season, the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Philadelphia Phillies. And then Saturday evening, it'll be the 77 Dodgers at the Cincinnati Reds in the inside pitch. So if you're a Dodger fan, you got a double dose of Dodgers coming up on Saturday. No games for me tomorrow, no streams for me tomorrow. I will be celebrating my retirement, and we're going to have a nice dinner, and I'm not sure what else we're going to do, but it won't be any of this. So I'm going to take a break and get ready for double action on Saturday with season ticket and inside pitch. So I hope you all enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-matic. Again, apologies to my stupid internet that doesn't seem to want to work right and want to give me a circle in the sand, but we made it through it, fortunately. So walk-off, not a walk-off, but the only run of the game was a home run from Darryl Boston. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. counted for the only run of the game. DeLeon, the winner, now 3-3. Boddicker, the loser, 3-2. And Bob James, his third save for the White Sox. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And the weekend is coming up. Tomorrow is D-Day, and I did pick this date for retirement on purpose because it was D-Day. So we want to honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice at that D-Day mission over there in France. So that really turned the tide of the battle in the Allies' favor. And it was a brave thing, but I was just watching some of the documentaries and things like that. It amazes me. Those guys just jumped off the boat knowing they were going to get shot, but they did it anyway. So gotta like that. Gotta give them props for that one. And those guys are true heroes for sure. So that's going to do it from here. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.